I am back at the mountain. 3 weeks ago I was too exhausted to make it to the top of this mountain, and now I want to try it again. And there's a very special reason for that. These are the final hours of my 20s. Tomorrow I will turn 30, and I would love it if the very first thing that I would see as a 30-year-old would be the amazing view from up there. It's already 10 p.m. so I have to hurry up a little bit. Let's go. There's no way that I will make it to the top until midnight because it's already 11 p.m. It took me a while to pack everything and stuff, but at least I want to make it to a significant height until midnight so that I can really begin my birthday with a beautiful view. So far I'm really loving it. Look at these beautiful juicy plants everywhere, and I also have a lot more energy than I had the last time. But of course the most exhausting part is still ahead of me. And there's a big fat cloud which is basically moving through this whole area. There are very little water drops in the air, but it's okay. Jungle of Lapland. It's getting too warm. Such an amazing atmosphere right now. You know how this feels? Just feels like an adventure. That's really the best word to describe it. The whole place looked a bit different than some weeks ago. Nature changes so quickly, and this time there were no mosquitoes around when I reached the creek. So I could drink in peace. I'm a little worried that this video isn't even close to how beautiful this area looks in real life. The water, crystal clear. Every single plant is a little miracle here. I just noticed that it's midnight, which means I'm 30 now. Okay, my 20s are over forever, and they will never come back. I actually feel pretty good about being at this place on my birthday. I think this is a good place. And this time I will make it up to the top. But it's still a very long way. Let's do it. I don't think that much about the actual number right now, or at least I try not to, because for now I just want to focus on the hike and then take a rest and everything, and then maybe I will think about it more. We shall see. What I find very fascinating about this view is that this lake over there is actually a lot higher than the other lake. Once again, it was a very personal matter between the mountain and me. Its mighty top overshadowed my view the whole time as I hiked through the night, leaving no doubt about the mission I was on. little snack. I just love this place. All the plants, the rocks, the view and the light right now, you know. This is such a special light. It's in the middle of the night and it's just a perfect light for filming and photography and stuff like that. It doesn't get any better than that. So beautiful. Whoa. But I have to take care not to fall down. Do you have any idea how helpless I feel being surrounded by so much beauty? Trying to capture it all, knowing that I never ever will be able to capture everything that amazes me about this place. And also the clean air. The air is so fresh and clean. It's really just something else. I just have to live with it. I have to live with the fact that I will never be able to capture what it's like to be here. This is so sad. But also, of course, it's beautiful because that's what makes it really special to actually be here. Now begins the steepest part, but honestly I enjoy every step. Up here a very cold wind was blowing, so I put on my jacket again. At this point I was almost at the plateau where I had set up my camp the last time. During this whole hike I was also very busy shooting clips. That's why you're able to watch this video. When I arrived at the plateau, I wanted to capture a scene of me walking up there. But just at this moment, the last battery of my big camera went empty. Now I'm above that little lake where I slept the last time. Somebody set up a tent down there. So I will not set up my camp there too. The only thing that annoys me a little bit is the wind. I didn't bring a hat or anything like that, so I had to find some other solution. That's the situation right now. It's 1:30 in the middle of the night. I'm not really that tired. And the top of the mountain is somewhere up there. I think I will continue my hike for a little bit. And then I will set up my camp somewhere. Unfortunately the batteries of my bigger camera are empty. I can recharge them with a power bank, but it will take a while. So right now where the light is the most beautiful, I can't take any shots with the big camera, which is so sad. But that's how it is. But luckily I still had my camcorder, which allowed me to take shots like this one, to capture the very special atmosphere. The night was not as bright anymore as it used to be some weeks ago, but there was still enough light to give me that feeling of a constant dawn. I had already accomplished my mission of starting my 30th birthday with a spectacular view, but I had not yet reached my final destination. Step after step, I'm moving towards the top of the mountain. It's still a lot further away than you might think from here. But nevertheless, no need to hurry. Look at this magical light, it's so beautiful. Still 40 minutes until sunset. The sun will rise at 3. Now it's 2:20. I'm very grateful that I have to move to get there, because it keeps me warm. Whenever I think I'm there, there's another hill behind the hill. I think I'm almost there. Just a few minutes, then I will be at the top. Look at that, wow. Yeah, that's really something special. It's so special to be up here. And then I finally arrived at the stone shelter on the top of the mountain. Here offers me a little bit of protection from the wind. Look! Wow. That's scary. This is so cozy and so necessary. Although right now the wind is still pretty heavy, but luckily this thing here is very windproof. So as soon as I will have closed it, everything will be fine. And now I need to sleep. Good night, good morning, whatever. See you later. I've slept for many hours now. It's the middle of the day. A little bit cloudy, which is good. It's just the right temperature. It's very quiet up here. Look at these big grey clouds over there. It's already raining in this direction, so I should really pack my stuff and move on. Of course I want to go on the top again so that we can enjoy the view, and then let's see. The falling rain in the distance looks so spectacular. I really like looking at it from a distance, but it's a different story if I'm touched by it. But probably I will not be able to avoid getting wet. Let's see. But these dark grey clouds are coming closer and closer. So epic. This is the amazing view that you get from up here. Unbelievable. Wow. I find it a very humbling experience to be up here. There are things on this world, in this universe, that are so much bigger than us. Wow. And the car is somewhere down there. There it is. So small. It's the car in the middle. Just a little part of a big, big world. I was on the top of the mountain. I had fulfilled my mission. Sitting here feels very safe and unsafe at the same time. You know, it feels safe because these rocks are so stable and yeah, they've seen a lot and they still exist, so I trust them to exist a lot longer. But nevertheless, it's so deep. And what I also really like, if you look down the lake from here, then you can see where it's deep and where it's not deep. You really get a better perspective on everything if you look at it from a distance. I really like this shelter up here. I think it looks like out of some fantasy story. Up here really I feel like the world is as it should be. Everything is clean, everything is just good and peaceful. And also very raw and real, you know. It's not fake up here. It's just reality. And now I'm very thirsty. Let's go to the water. I think visiting such places and especially meeting challenges there connects us to a higher spirit. A spirit that makes us realize the power that we as humans have, and that leads us to sovereignty. Nobody has the right to rule us except ourselves. Now that I think about it, it's very funny that I said this place looks like out of a fantasy story and it feels very real. So that seems like a contradiction at first. But maybe what fascinates us about fantasy stories in the end is that we see a world that we hope to be real, because this is what reality could be in some ways, not in all ways, but in some ways. We have the potential to make reality a lot better than it is. The water's down there and it looks very dark over there. I'm not sure if the rain will come here or if it will just move on, but the light is so incredible right now. Very, very dark grey over there, bright sun over there, and green hills. This type of landscape is so beautiful. It's called fjell, and I love it because it's so wide and open and empty, and I feel so free here. Finally. This is such clean water. It's a joy to drink it. I'm seeing these little birds everywhere. They fly around on rocks, chirping. Very cute. I knew that the peace I experienced at this place was nothing less than a representation of how I felt inside. The feeling of incompleteness over my last attempt to reach the mountaintop was overwritten by the glorious feeling of victory. And so, as I hiked back down, I was filled with a deep peace of mind. The heavy wind from the night before had gone. Everything was quiet and perfect, and the little stream that flowed down the mountain kept me company. Simply watching it was a process of purification. Alright, I finally made it. Going down the mountain was just as exhausting as going up, because it was so steep. But I'm glad that I made it, and I'm really glad that I also finally made it to the top this time. It was really worth it, because it's so great up there. I hadn't brought any food on my hike, so first I ate something and then I went for a brief swim in the lake. That was definitely necessary. I feel so much better. And now the journey continues. Bye bye mountain. Next I drove on this very famous road called Vildmarksvägen, which leads through an absolutely wonderful area, but it was crowded with tourists. I don't blame them, because I was one of them too, but I just prefer to enjoy nature alone. It took me pretty long to find this spot where I was on my own. In this area I couldn't find the solitude I was looking for, so I continued the journey. A few hundred kilometers later, I am in the very north of Sweden right now, somewhere in the Arctic. And my actual goal for now is the Arctic Ocean in the very north of Norway. I'm very excited to show you that. But to get there, we have to drive through a little piece of Finland first. So let's do that. Okay, I'm at the Finnish border now. Welcome to Finland. As soon as I crossed the border, something just felt different. It's hard to put a finger on what it exactly was, but I had experienced this before when switching between the different Nordic countries. And by the way, I was very fascinated by how pointy that church tower was. I'm very happy to be back in Finland, because this country has a very special place in my heart, but I don't want to make a big deal out of it now, because for now I'm just driving through the country, and then afterwards, after I've been to the Arctic Ocean, I want to go back to Finland and then start the real Finland tour. But until then, let's just enjoy Finland for a short while, and I'm very hungry. Time to cook. If you want to see how my journey continues in Finland and Norway, subscribe to the channel. A playlist with all episodes of this journey is linked in the video description. A big thank you goes out to the amazing musicians who let me use their music in my videos. If you liked the music in this episode, check out the links to their sites in the video description and buy their music. Thanks for watching and goodbye.